Last week, I was doing something new. I was doing something for the first time that I'd never done before. And I woke up in the morning feeling really nervous. I was feeling unsettled, anxious. I had this sort of tightness in my chest and in my throat. And I was going about my normal morning routine thinking it would go away, and it didn't. So after I got the girls to the bus and breakfast and all that made, I sat down and decided I needed to step into some stillness. I will tell you this whole Thoughtfully Fit model, as I've worked on creating it and figuring out sort of how to capture this and teach these concepts in a way to help myself and others, it has been incredibly valuable. So I thought, okay, I need to walk the talk here. So I sat down and paused. And I thought, what is my anxiety about? What's going on? Why am I nervous? Why am I anxious? And I realized that Little Miss Perfect Pants was getting all up in arms. She's my saboteur, my number one loudest saboteur. When I'm doing something new I haven't done before, she chimes in because she wants to protect me. She doesn't want me to look bad or not know what I'm doing or fail. And so I thought about in that moment what I needed. And I acted from that place. And what I realized is that I needed to talk to somebody, that I was having all of these internal feelings of anxiety, and I was just spiraling and spinning, and I wasn't able to release them on my own. So I decided I needed a friend, which is somewhat hard for me because I don't want to be a bother. Other people have lives, they have kids, they have jobs, but I decided, no, I need a friend. So I picked up the phone and called a friend. I'm just going to call her Sue for the moment. And I got voicemail. So I left a message saying, hey, Sue, it's Darcy. I'm doing this new thing today. And I described what it was. And I said, I'm feeling really nervous. And I just was wondering if you had a couple minutes to chat. And after I left the voicemail, I thought, is there anyone else? Of course, Little Miss Perfect Pants is like, well, see, you know, she's very critical and sarcastic. Maybe you shouldn't go because now there's nobody here to help walk you through this. And I thought, no. Settle down, chime down. I've got other friends. So I called another friend, Liza, and she answered. And I said, hey, Liza, do you have a minute? I'm feeling really anxious and I just need to talk for a minute. And she said, yeah, I've got about 10. I'm heading to yoga, but I can talk for 10 minutes. And I said, yeah, that'd be really helpful. And I just shared with her these feelings I was having. I was unsettled and nervous and icky. And I described what I was going to be doing and stepping into. And after listening, Liza, and really pausing, she said, oh, Darcy, I get it. Wow, it sounds like you're nervous. And of course you are. This is something new. You've never done this before. I hear the neighbor's rooster in the background, if you can hear that. And she said, yeah, of course you're nervous. That totally makes sense. I've felt that way before too. So how are you doing? What do you need? And I said, you know, I think I just need to talk through it. I just need to honor these feelings. And she held the space and just honored those feelings. And she served as a witness to me in my unsettled state. And she didn't try to solve anything or fix anything. She just created space to listen. And then she said, you know, I really commend you. I don't think I could do this thing that you're doing, this scary new thing. And I know you can do it. And it was just what I needed. So I hung up the phone and felt better. I sort of felt a lightness that had lifted. And about a half an hour later, my friend Sue calls back. And she said, hey, I just got your voicemail. I'm so sorry I was on the other call. I called, on another call, and I called as soon as I could. And so I said, oh, thank you so much. I actually just talked to a friend, and I'm feeling better. And she said, well, what's going on? And so I said, well, I woke up this morning feeling really unsettled. And I started to describe to her this process of what I was going to be doing and how I was feeling. And she said, okay. And as I'm describing it, it almost felt a little bit more like I was giving her directions than telling her some really heavy feelings. Like, go to the stop sign and take a left, okay? And then go down a mile and take a right, okay? So it felt a little bit jarring, but I let it go, and I kind of kept talking. And then she said, okay, well, why don't you just cancel? It sounds like you're really nervous and you're scared. Why don't you just not go? And I said, well, I guess I could not go, but I signed up because I think I need to do this. I want to do this, and it's uncomfortable, but it's a place of growth and learning for me. Okay, do you want me to come with you? Because I can come there, I can go with you. And I said, no, I don't. As a matter of fact, you're not registered, so you couldn't anyway. So no, that's okay. Well, all right. So how about do you think you could call them or email them and tell them what you're concerned about and see if you can make it? And so this went on for a while, where she was coming from a place of deep heart and compassion and wanting so bad to be there for me. But the impact for me was I was feeling a little defensive, and I was feeling a little bit like questioning. Maybe I wasn't doing the right thing. Maybe I shouldn't be going to this new thing that I had signed up for. And it just felt like she was trying to fix something that I had come to peace with, that didn't need to be fixed. So while it was hard and the feelings I felt were very unsettling, I knew this was something I had to do. And so what I wanted to share with you today is the value of stillness, not only for yourself. So I had to step into stillness to pause and think about, what do I need to do with these anxious feelings? And what I realized is I really needed to connect with someone. But there's also an opportunity to step into stillness when a friend calls you and says, oh my God, I've got this problem, this issue, I'm nervous. And to just be a witness to them. To just be present, to just create stillness, to honor their feelings, their pain, their anxiety. And then maybe to get curious and ask what they need. Instead of assuming what they need is for you to fix it, to solve it, to tell them what to do. I know this well because that's where I lived in that world for a long time. Not only was I trained as a teacher, I was highly codependent. I am now mostly in recovery from my codependence, but it took a lot of learning for me to realize that the greatest value that I can provide, whether it's with a coaching client or a friend or a colleague or my child, is to just be with them, to create space, to step into stillness, to honor their journey, to reflect back what I'm hearing, like, this sounds really hard. And to not jump in to try to fix and solve. And that's been hard for me because I don't like when friends or colleagues are in pain, A, and so I want to fix it, and B, a lot of times, I don't know if you've had this feeling where somebody's telling you a problem and it is so clear from your perspective what the person needs to do, and you just want to tell them because, like, you've got blinders on, here's what you need to do. And what I've realized that's part of the value of the journey, is allowing someone to fail fabulously, to learn from their mistakes, to not prevent them from living a life fully. And Thoughtfully Fit is all about helping you take some of these really powerful coaching tools to coach yourself, to be able to lead a life that you love. And this is a powerful tool. A coaching tool of just being curious, of just asking powerful questions, of being present, is essential to your own well-being as well as supporting someone else. So I'll tell one more story about this. I had a client who I was coaching, and he came into one of our phone calls, one of our coaching sessions one morning, and he said, Darcy, I've just had enough. I don't know what to do. I need to talk to you today about my relationship with my wife. And I said, yeah, what's going on? And he said, I get home at night. So she has a high-powered job and stressful. And, he went into some context, which isn't important right now. And he said, I get home at night and she feels this need to vent and to all the problems, all the things that went on, and to de-stress. And of course, I can see what she needs to do in order to not be so stressed. So I start telling her, you know, well, you know what you need to do? You should tell your boss, or you should. And then Darcy, she gets mad at me. Like, what in the world? Here I am trying to help her, and I can see so clearly what she needs to do. And the next thing you know, she's mad at me. And then I get the silent treatment through dinner and go to bed. And he said, I'm just done with it. So can any of you relate? So we started to talk through this and to coach through it. And he had this realization as we were coaching that she was getting angry that he was trying to fix her problems and solve things and tell her what to do, and he was shooting all over her. So he created some homework for himself. Coaching is all about increasing your awareness and then increasing your actions, or creating some new action. And so he went home that night and he said to his wife, so what do you need from me? Like, I can see you're really stressed out and you're feeling frustrated. How can I best support you? And she said, you know, what I need is for you to just listen. I just need you to listen. I need to vent so that I can release this energy and leave it at work and have a nice evening with my husband. And so he came back in the next session. He said, oh my gosh, Darcy. So she just told me what she needed. So he said, I went and got a beer and I sat down and I just listened, and I just let her vent. And I had to resist the urge to tell her, like, what you need to do is and I just listened, and I said, wow, that sounds hard. I can imagine why you're upset. And he said, I didn't do anything except be there for her. And she gave me a hug afterwards, and we had this pleasant, lovely dinner. And it was completely a different pattern than what it was. And he, as the months went on, would report back to me that he would, when she'd get home, he would take a little bit of time to just check in with her and to get curious. What do you need from me right now? And every once in a while, she would say, I need your help. I need to fix this. I've got a meeting with the CEO tomorrow morning, and I don't know what to do. And so he said, at that time, like, I'd get excited. I'd go get a beer. I'd roll up my sleeves, and I'd say, okay. And then I had full permission to jump in, to help, to try to give some ideas, to try to give her some new solutions, to try to fix it. And she was open to receiving it. So my challenge to you this week is to step into stillness, to stay curious, to ask questions, and really hold the other person in a relationship as the expert in their own life. To resist the urge to jump in and tell them what to do, to fix them, to solve their problems. To really embrace this core and strengthen this core muscle of pausing and thinking what's needed right now here for myself and for this relationship, and then acting from that place. And if you do, let me know how it goes. I would love to hear. There is only progress, not perfection. So as you go out, maybe the first thing that you do this week, instead of stepping in fully, is you start to notice, wow, how often do you jump in and try to fix and solve and give advice and shit all over someone? And as you start to create new awareness, then you can change and create new actions. And let me know how it goes. I'll be thrilled to hear. Thanks so much for joining me, whether it's live on the Facebook live videos. Lucy, good morning, and Jill and Brandy, it's so great to see you guys. Or for those of you who are watching the video afterwards by recording, I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. This is so truly my life's passion, and I feel honored that there are so many people who are jumping in to learn and grow together with me on this journey. And I look forward to seeing you next week for our Thoughtfully Fit Thursday. Have a great weekend.